Welcome back, Kevin's Mobile Repair. I'm going to do us a full brake front and rear for a Nissan Rogue. I'm going to show you everything from step by step, what to do. Had a couple other comments and a couple videos of not showing the full thing, so I'll show you the full thing this time. We'll need a 21mm socket to take off the lug nuts. Got a wheel lock key, obviously wheel lock key. A 14mm wrench. I have a mountain wrench, ratcheting wrench, gives me a lot more torque to take these off. I have a pair of pliers, I'll show you what that is for. I have a brake caliper compressing tool. I have a wire wheel to clean off any of the debris up here and on the inside of the caliper. You don't necessarily need this. I do this, it makes it easier, makes the clips go on nice, there's no rusty spots. Doesn't have any opportunity of messing up as far as that's concerned. Needs brakes and your hardware kit. I'm going to show you how to build these hardware kits. There is instructions in here, but sometimes they're kind of iffy. So I'll show you what I got these pliers for. Alright, so here's your standard setup for this. There's going to be a little spring. It's going to attach in here, and the pad itself is going to ride like this in that groove and inside here. So we're going to build these clips on here, and I'll show you how to do it. It goes, this short tang will go inside here, both loops will wrap around here, and the other end will sit amongst that groove right there. Now, to get it underneath the clip right here, it's usually a pain in the ass. So this is what I do. I use a pair of pliers and I bend it up just a little bit. Both sides, like that. Makes things much easier for installation. Alright. You can't, the hanger piece right here has to be facing up, so it'll only go on one way. So watch, we'll put it in here, make it wrap around both of coil pieces like this, underneath both, and then attach right there. So here's a close-up of how it goes. One piece in there, the two coils under there, and this little metal tang that we got right here that holds this, and that way it doesn't fly out. Now close it back up, that way it stays in place. And we do this for both sides. If you don't have brakes that have the hardware kit on there, at least attempt to clean up the old ones. See? I'm going to go in here, underneath both, and then for the final part, locked around right there. Bend it down a little bit, because you bend it up a little bit, and then everything stays in place. So the brake shoes will sit on here in the little groove, and then they'll sit in place like this. What this does is this keeps the pad from staying contact on the rotor at all times and makes a squealing sound. Makes them last a little longer, makes the rotor not heat up as much because it's not making full contact all the time. So supposedly it's supposed to save pads, but if you got a heavy foot driver, it won't really matter. Alright, assemble this one, groove in underneath both, clip right there, in, under, just like that. Close it back up. There we go. Now they're assembled, ready to be installed. Now we need our 14. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But it's going to be opposite because you're facing the opposite way. If you were facing towards the caliper, it would be like that. sometimes these things will stick in here. If you use a pair of pliers right back behind where the caliper bracket sits into, you can hold it and knock these loose and everything will rotate itself away. Alright, done with our routine. Now this is not a necessary thing, this is just what I do. It makes it a little bit easier for taking everything off. Screwdriver, put it in, compress the caliper a little bit, and then everything slides off. Real simple. Put your caliper up and out of the way, take your pads off, they just slide out. See, if you're going to have to reuse these, at least clean up this area here where the pad slides in, because as the dirtier it gets, the more friction this old material will cause, and it will make the pad stick. That's why they recommend getting new hardware after every brake change. Here's where our wire wheel comes into play. We're going to clean off the edges here where the new bracket pieces will sit. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to get it in there. We're going to install our new hardware. They have little wedges right here, so it can't go too far over in either area. Just make sure that it's past each side on the bracket. When it sits up in there, you can kind of feel it. And if it doesn't go up into place, either needs to be moved over one direction or the other until it sits in place. And there we go. Now we're going to clean up our caliper. Compressor in first. Got a nice little tool. This is a Lio tool designed for single calipers, dual calipers. Makes life a little bit easier. You can use a C-clamp. You can use the little tool that you can get in an Advanced Auto, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, anything you want to use. Press that caliper back in, perfectly fine. I'm going to wire wheel all this area here. You can use sandpaper. The backing plate where the pad goes on. That area right there. I'm going to hose it off for brake clean. Brake clean only takes a couple of seconds to dry. Now normally I put a brake lube on here, but the customer did not want to do so. She says the pads work just fine without it. So, okay. But normally I would put brake grease in these little troughs and on the back of the pad just for a lubrication purpose. So if the caliper does barely touch it, pad moves around like this, makes that little wheeps. That's what that sound is from. All right, so now we're going to install our pads. A little trough here, go over one clip, go over other clip, and it'll sit in place like this. See how it wants to push back? That's what it does. Just, we're only talking about a little bit, we're not talking about a lot, but obviously it's a lot right there, but it won't be once the caliper itself is on. fat head in the way for this part. Alright, there we go. So now they're both in. So what you'll do is you'll have to squeeze them together once you put the caliper back on so that you can clear everything. Everything's all dry. One here. Pushing the pins. That's another thing. Rotate your pins. If the pins don't move freely, take them out, lube them up. If they do, don't open them up to the elements. You'll be good to go. We don't have that much of a problem here in the south. But, up north, oh god, I'm pretty sure you got to do it every single time. Everything gets all rusty, nasty. Got to replace calipers, caliper brackets, all that kind of good crap. So everything gets lined back in. There's your 14 again. Tighten them up. Now is also a good time to inspect everything else while all your stuff is off and easily accessible, like tie rod boots, ball joints, see if your axle leaking, whether or not the shock is leaking, anything like that. Just another things we notate to the customer. Nissans are very bad about the lower control arm bushings going out, which they look like they're cracking, so that's going to be a problem. So I will mention that to her and see what she wants to do. But other than that, there's your front, and stay tuned for a link for the rear.